as I was on the phone with them, they were like, okay, yeah, that doesn't sound right, so we're just gonna review your CT on the phone with you right now. And they pulled it up and they were like, yeah, your tube is indeed flipped. It's definitely
Olivia.
I was born with a rare genetic condition.
We'll listen to battle.
My suffering does not define me. With every battle I face, I am made stronger through faith.
And free.
Here is my J tube. Here is my G tube. And this is what color I put in it, which, if you can't tell, that is like a dark purpley color, but it's black food coloring. I just put a very little amount in there so it wouldn't stain anything. But yeah, literally just watched it come out the G portion of my tube after pushing it in the J portion. This is how I know that my tube is indeed flipped, because this is definitely not clear, and stuff shouldn't have come streaming out of it, even if it was clear, after pushing clear liquids in my J tube. Nothing should have came out of here except for bile, because I haven't had anything to eat or drink. Totally just recorded this entire clip that I'm about to tell you guys about and realized my audio was messed up because my headphones were plugged in. What I was trying to record and tell you guys now is that so the last video that you watched was of me leaving the hospital saying that my tube isn't flipped, and what I didn't tell you guys, because I was kind of embarrassed that like I went to the hospital and everything, and like they told me my tube wasn't flipped. But what I didn't tell you guys is that these doctors told me that they don't know a lot about GJ feeding tubes. They just know about G tubes. They didn't even understand why everything, like the things that I was experiencing or am experiencing, are happening. Like, they didn't understand what I was trying to explain to them. But they told me, because they didn't understand very much about my tube, and they were concerned, to just contact my doctor in the morning and explain to them exactly what's going on and the tests that I had done last night. And so I called them and I let them know. And as I was on the phone with them, they were like, okay, yeah, that doesn't sound right, so we're just gonna review your CT on the phone with you right now. And they pulled it up and they were like, yeah, your tube is indeed flipped. It's definitely flipped. So I don't know how the doctors, like, they're doctors, I don't know how they didn't know this. I think that there should be a lot more feeding tube awareness and education for even trauma doctors and things like that, because this is now becoming more of an emergency, because I can't administer my medications. I've been in my bed since last night. I had to take my wheelchair last night because I couldn't administer my morning medications without them draining out of my stomach yesterday. I couldn't administer my nighttime medications without them draining from my stomach last night. I couldn't administer my morning medications today. And so now I've gone over 24 hours without heart medications, blood pressure medications, anticonvulsants, my medication that stops intractable vomiting, which is just like nonstop throwing up. So I've been hooked up to my drain since coming home from the hospital, and have not been able to run feeds and can't run them. So fun. And the doctor said that, one, they can't admit me right now because of COVID, my immune system, and just because, like, I'm not actively, like, seizing or having, like, an arrhythmia or having severe blood pressure issues just while laying here. But I'm non-functioning right now, and somehow I have to manage to shower or bathe, whatever, and that's upstairs, and I have to somehow manage to deaccess and reaccess my own port now as well, because they can't admit me at this moment. So they're having me come in tomorrow morning, and I have to get all that stuff done. But I'm also kind of relieved that I'm not admitted to the hospital. I mean, hopefully I don't run into anything emergent with my vitals or anything else, because I don't want to end up in the hospital, and I'm just hoping that my body can hold up long enough until I get my new feeding tube tomorrow. And yep, they have to remove my button, and I can't get a new one because, like I said, this one's custom, and they would have to have ordered a new custom button that is obviously much longer than the one that I have in right now, because clearly this one is not working. They told me that with my conditions and with, like, the whole reason I have a feeding tube, that this one's way too short, and that if they tried to just put it back in place, it would just keep on flipping because my intestines move things upwards. But yeah, it's definitely flipped and curled up into my stomach, even though it's supposed to have dropped down past my stomach and into my intestines. But yep, that's all I have to say right now. If you can't tell, I'm exhausted. Hey guys, sorry I forgot to do an update, but I've been admitted to the hospital. My doctor told me to come in, so it's currently 4 a.m. and I can't sleep because I'm in severe pain. But I'm just waiting to get my tube replaced in the morning. But yeah, I'll update you guys later when I'm in less pain. Hey guys, so I just got back from getting my feeding tube replaced, and it wasn't that bad. But I do have just a regular dangle tube now, because the other tube was like literally half as long as it was supposed to be. But so they had to put in a much longer one. But yeah, now I just have another GJ dangle button, or dangle tube, but not a button anymore. But they said that the next time I come in 3 months, that they can change it to a button. And since it will be twice as long, it won't be as what's the word I'm trying to think of? It won't have any issues. It will just be like this tube, but a button. But I'm getting incredibly itchy, and it's making me really nervous because of the anaphylaxis the last time. This time they didn't use any contrast, and they pre-medicated me with Benadryl because of the other drugs that they used to sedate me. But I am so itchy, so itchy. Hey guys, so I went into allergic reaction a little bit, but feeling much better now. I'm about to start my tube feeds. Okay, giving a quick update. Clearly I've gotten discharged from the hospital shortly after the allergic reaction. I passed out again, and they kept me until 8 p.m. Now it's 8:40, or till 6 p.m. Now it's 8:40, so I've been home for like an hour and 30 minutes. But now my stomach is draining blood, so I had to call the on-call dietitian. If she's not sure what to do, I have one other option, to call the on-call nurse. So hopefully this is normal. I don't know. I've never had this happen before, but I'm really hoping I don't have to go back to the ER, and I'm really hoping it's nothing serious, that maybe it's just the inside of my stomach is inflamed or irritated or something. Anyways, this next scene is going to be pretty graphic and probably bothersome to some people who are uncomfortable with blood or stomach bile or the GI system in general. But not sure if you can see that. The green stuff is bile, but all that black stuff is blood. I know it's blood because when I shine light through it, it shines dark red, and there's clumps of blood clots in it. But yes, a bunch of blood has drained from my stomach, and I've never had this happen before. I'm seriously so incredibly thankful for both my Ehlers Danlos support group and for my feeding tube support group. So if you know me from the Ehlers Danlos support group or the feeding tube support group, and you have been supporting me through this, or just even watching my videos to stay updated, then thank you guys so much. And I really appreciate your support, your prayers, and whatever you have been doing to help me, because I never knew of on-call doctors. I only knew of in-person doctors through an appointment, or urgent care, or the emergency room, or my on-call nurse, or on-call dietitian, and I never knew of on-call doctors. And without those on-call doctors, and without knowing of those, then I would never know what to do, because I mean, there's a lot of conditions that I have, as many of my viewers have, that are rare and complex, and a lot of times it's hard to tell what to do, hard to know what to do. And I just got off the call with the on-call doctor, and he said, as of right now, since draining my stomach is making me feel better and there's not like a ton of blood, he said that with the amount that's come out, that it's not too extreme. He said, but if there is blood that continues to come out, or if I start feeling even worse, like lightheaded, or start throwing up, or just my stomach won't stop draining, then he said to come in to the hospital. But thankfully, as of right now, he said that I'm good, I'm perfectly fine, that it's probably just from all the irritation of my tube being flipped and my stomach bleeding from that, which obviously isn't very pleasant. But I'm really thankful that I have this tube placed. I'm thankful that everything's gonna be all right. And thank you guys for following me along on my journey. This one was very frustrating, as most are. But anyways, if you guys have watched this video all the way through and have been keeping up with me, then thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And if you enjoy my videos or you find them helpful, then hit that thumbs up button. And if you are not yet subscribed, then hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell notification sign to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.